Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, time's up, ladies and gentlemen. You know, wealth is mandatory. There's no way around it. You better be in the game because the game is moving along. Today's price is not yesterday's price. What are you going to do in the future? Have you seen the stock market lately going up? You know what that means? These companies are getting rich. Do you also know what that means? That means the cost of living is going to rise. They are taking the profit, sucking it out dry. Meanwhile, you're working hard. And welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's out here looking for information. And before we get into this, we have to talk about the wealth game because if you were not in the stock market, have not been in the stock market, you're losing out on little kibbles and bits that you could be getting on a daily basis right now. 8% in 1 month for a stock index is unheard of. But it's not unheard of now because the manipulation is at an all-time high. They're sucking the money out of us, the middle class, the lower class. Even if you're over into the top third, they're sucking it out of third of those people. So it's only going to cost more because the wealth is only in the few hands of a few people. If you still aren't buying that, you need to be on the wealth and asset train. I suggest you stay tuned because I will be talking about this for the rest of the year pretty much. And there's different ways that you can accumulate this wealth, but your time is running out because doors are closing. Gatekeepers are starting to gatekeep even more than they've done before. They don't want to share. They're trying to make sure that it keeps going to the top. So that means you got to get to the top. So therefore, there's going to be a total revamp, ladies and gentlemen. I have no choice because I was going into retirement. But I want to thank an SSN Nation member for helping me come out of retirement with a vengeance. Because otherwise, it would have taken me probably close to our deadline that I set for what I wanted to do because I would have had to learn so much. There's nothing wrong with learning, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, rebranding's about to hit because AI is here. I told you guys about this a month ago, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, when I said if you haven't started checking out AI, I highly suggest you do. So I'm just going to tell you right now, Stop Struggling Now has been mediocre at best, but let's just say it's cool, right? We're having a little fun, having a little conversation. That's why the chat room's open to everybody. But here's the thing. So today, I went in to go pay the hosting fee. And the hosting fee thing came up and says, hey, why don't you use our AI to update your website? So I said, I'm game. Let me go check out that StopStrugglingNow.com, YouTube, and all over social media. Go check out what they do. That's all I put in there for the start. And then I want homepage to have a hero page, just describe it. Then I want 3 boxes down below where I can put information or you can run videos. And I didn't describe anything. Then I said, I want some like 4 boxes or 3 or 2 boxes below that. And I actually want to be able to put some videos in for advertising or my own things. Then I said, make a merch page for me. Then I said, for my stuff, right? Because I'm assuming it's AI. It's going to go around and kind of do the spider stuff and grab all Stop Struggling Now stuff that they can get. And basically, we're on main platforms, so it's easy to grab. And so I didn't think I had to do anything further, and I did not. Lo and behold, it makes a website that everything I've been talking with you guys about for free, it's putting in course, meetings, group chats with a paywall. Everything I've been talking about, AI goes, what the hell are you doing? You should be charging for this. It didn't say that, but that's the website they made. And I did not click it live because it has some proprietary stuff on there, because I told it to put in something that we're going to be doing. And it put it in there. So I said, okay, I cannot launch it, but I wasn't going to launch it right now anyhow because I could not believe it. It actually embedded this Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page player. So right now, if my site was live, it would be going on the site, and it'd be giving a warning for anybody coming to the site, telling them it's live right now. And I haven't had to do anything but tell it these descriptions of what I wanted to do. And it was included this whole time in my hosting account. They have points, apparently. I didn't even know nothing about it, because I don't usually go back to the hosting account. It's just that they messed up my account, and I have two hosting accounts accidentally. So they actually said, hey, your hosting's due. And I was like, no, it's not. What is this? And then I was like, it's about to expire. But then I was like, I don't really care. That was a mistake. They already gave me a refund. So no, I'm not paying for that one when it's nothing. It's not even hosting anything. So I said, okay, let me play. Wait till you see. I'm keeping it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm keeping it. They're charging people $297 for a monthly membership. I'm keeping it. There's another drop. In fact, hold on a second. I'm not going to show you what it looks like yet. This is impressive. Let me see here. Entrepreneur Accelerator, $297 monthly course. Financial Freedom Blueprint, $47. Mastermind membership, $97. Monthly coaching access. This is incredible. Join the community. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. I'm sorry. I come out of retirement, ladies and gentlemen, and I told you guys before, I generally did not care because, of course, we want to help the OCs. Now I'm sitting there going, well, if they're grabbing my stuff and saying, Eric, you're charging for everything, I have to take heed. And plus the fact I'm not going off into Never Never Land. I'm coming back with the vengeance with some help from an SSN Nation member. And if you guys want to join the train, unfortunately, the train is leaving the station and I can't put anybody else on board right now because I don't think we're going to need anybody else on board. That is the problem. Well, is it a problem for real? And then I'm going to tell you guys, yesterday's price is not today's price. And unfortunately, a lot of people, I was talking about this 5-6 years ago, before we get into this wealth building situation tonight. Let me see who's in the house. I see EV Places here. Welcome. Another investor's in the house. He is doing the damn thing. What did he say? He said Castle Rock REO. Was that it? Can I remember? Was that it? Castle Rock REO. If you guys want to go over there and get some properties that are pretty cheap, you can fix them up and they're going to be worth a lot more money. That's how you build some wealth, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he's doing. He's out here buying pre-construction projects. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Outside of the United States, you know what the motto is. Bank account outside the United States, real estate or business outside the United States. And what else do you need outside of the United States? A bank account. Let's go. That is the SSN Nation way. You got to be prepared. You never know what a government's going to do to you. But again, welcome, EV Place. Good evening. Starts the tagline. I hope you are all doing well. Happy Friday. And again, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And once again, we're going to keep rolling because if you guys have anything to talk about, it's in the chat room. Like I said, this AI thing has got me a little bit more motivated even now after they gave me some spanking new, awesome, elite black with gold lettering and new Stop Struggling Now in cursive lettering. I said, oh, I got to keep this. This is cool. I'm like, hold on. But the machine made it, not me. It's making a merch store for me, not me. Well, they're giving me placeholders. All I got to do is load up the image. It's linking to my PayPal account, not me. It already has the Candlestick Trading Bible that, oh, by the way, everybody who might want to do stock market trading, it has the Candlestick Trading Bible also already ready to rock and roll. The link's already there. And you know this link that I'm about to give you guys? They've already redirected and everything. I didn't have to do anything. It did it for me. I just said, hey, I got this funky Candlestick Trading Bible link right here. And it's not really appropriate that I should give that out anymore. But here's the link. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get this right here because I got to put it down in the chat room for you guys in case you want to learn how to do stock market trading. Then you can live. You can live for a lifetime. Because once you're good at it, again, you should practice. It's high risk, high rewards. But I mean, a lot of people lose. So that's why it's high risk, high rewards. So I'm about to put a link in the chat room. It's that funky little link, right? And it said, oh, don't worry. We have you all right, T. Witty. I see you out there. I see you. Thank you so much, man. I see you. AI made a website for you. It's making it right now, and it took them less than an hour. I just started it like 30 minutes ago. That's in fact why I was late, because I couldn't believe what was going on. I said, this is unbelievable. And so I said, hey, can you put something up top so when I go live, it actually puts some banner or something up there so if somebody's coming to the website, it goes live? Boom, done. Done in less than 30 seconds. Then I said, hey, I have some new project that's coming out, and I need it's got these memberships program for my SSN Lifestyle brand. Why don't you attach that over here? So I uploaded what some of this stuff was doing. Less than 30 seconds. Boom, boom, done. How you can pay and everything. I said, oh, I got to attach my PayPal account. Done. I'm like, this is incredible. But back to the thing, I put in Candlestick Trading Bible, the same link that you guys see, that long thing. It came back, we directed it. The people that have that link can still use the link, and it's going to download it. But now all they have to do is go stopstrugglingnow.com/candlestick. I was like, oh my God, I didn't have to go back in and redo the redirect links and do all this crazy. It was done. This is exciting, ladies and gentlemen. And the format of the actual site itself. What I said, I want a hero page. That's all I said, really. And then I wanted 3 boxes underneath. And I want to be able to put videos in there. And I want to be able to put videos in there or an image in there with a link. Then I said on the right-hand side, I want it where the merch or shopping or whatever it has, and make it 1/5 of the page and put the merch links over there. So when somebody comes on a live stream, I want you to embed the channel ID so you can run it like we're right now. If it was live, it'd be running on that space live. I said, 30 seconds done. Then I'm just giving it everything that I really kind of was like, I'll play around. And it did it. And then it did. Then I was like, hold on, I can actually do more than this. So that's when I got a little more into it, and I'm sorry I was late. That's why. So EV Place, we got T. Witty over here asking the same questions. It took them less than 5 minutes. Less than 5. It was Aero. It used AIRO. That's what it used. Never heard of it. I didn't care. It was free. All this time I was paying for hosting. It was free. What the frick? I mean, it's over. It's over. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. We're happy you're in the house, EV Place. Once again, it's off the charts what's happening. And again, smash that like button because the YouTube guys don't show any love. Around the internet, doesn't matter, doesn't show any love. But it doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. We're still bringing the house down. I wish I could tell you guys the magnificent situation that's arising. Because like I told you before, what's even more pleasant than anything in the world is to have an SSN Nation member actually help out and actually be able to, hey, partake in the profits. And we're not talking about that chump change stuff either. We're not saying, oh, yeah, we're going to pay you $50, $60 an hour. And then, a month or two later after you done built it out, it's like, haha, have a nice life. See you later. Thank you for doing all you had to do. No, none of that. None of that. We love the OCs because this right here, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's coming to save you. Oh, yeah, you'll be able to get this gear on the new website. It should be up in 2 days. It'll be up by Monday. Actually, it'll be up by tonight, but I don't really want to release it tonight because I have some stuff on there that I don't want to really remove, but I'm going to have to prep it, and I want to start the other website, which now I can do the SSN Lifestyle website myself now that I have this. I mean, I thought I was going to have somebody make it for me. The genius that is working with me right now, but now I see I didn't need him at all. All I got to do is put in the parameters, and it's going to be sick. So then I'll talk about it because we have a pre-inventory type of thing. You want to be joining the party and you want to support, then fine. You don't have to, but we can start talking about some front end stuff. I can start telling you about some intellectual properties, assets and things of this nature. But assets are Stop Struggling Now is an asset, for instance. SSN Lifestyle is an asset. Intellectual properties. But now we're about to go overboard. And yes, I did put in a chat room in the back of the Stop Struggling Now. So now you want to come in and chat. The only thing I haven't put in yet so far is that text, because that's what I'm going to ask for next. I don't even know if it's possible. I used to know people that would say, give us your phone number so that we can text you, because that would be awfully cool, right? Whenever we start doing live streams or when we're doing something special, I can just text you. I should have done that like years ago. I don't know if that's still a thing, but that would be cool. Get some other things for notifications, because you know how these social media platforms don't like to help people. Those of us who like to go down below in the description box, down below in the chat room, you need some help, and go to findhelp.org. That's what we're talking about. Go to findhelp.org. That's free help for you. Put in your zip code if you're inside of America. You want to know something else before we get into this yesterday's price? It was this right here. I did not do a Dominican Republic real estate assessment this month because I didn't even check. But look at this number. It's another record high, as expected. But do you want to know why? As expected, because people are not going fly zones over to the Middle East. That leaves a whole lot of countries out of the place where people would normally go. You're not going to Dubai right now, are you? After they hit up Dubai, you're not going over to Qatar. You're not going over to Saudi Arabia. You're not going over anywhere right now in that Middle East. So some of those tens of thousands, hundreds and 200, a million, 2 million people are saying, you know what? Let me just stay in this hemisphere right here where it's safe so far. I can go to a place that's pretty cool in this hemisphere. So some people chose Dominican Republic. And to my non-surprise, they have 799,203 visitors that came by air. That's the only number you care about. Because basically, if you have 100 and roughly 20,000 hotel rooms and Airbnbs, actually it's more than that, 140,000, then you need a high number. You need 800,000. But 800,000 doesn't save you. That's the problem, because I'll break it down for you. Real estate is still good. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. And the best deal, which as it's going to turn out is incredibly, Larimar somehow is going to end up on the winning side. Because again, if you own at Larimar and you haven't stopped payments, don't fret. Because they still actually did not take your units away. You still have the unit. So their deal is they're putting on a stop clock where they're charging you late fees if you stop paying. And then if you decide to buy when they have delivery, they just take off the late fees. The late fees are mine. I mean, the late fees are mine is over 2 years and it's $1,100. That's not a lot. But the point is, the fact is, you still own it. You still wait till they deliver it. And then if you don't want it then of course you lose it or whatever. But the fact that they're even doing that is incredible. So now you get the best of both worlds. This is incredible right now. Now, We'll see how it all turns out. But you still have another year, 2 years to go before anything's going to happen. So that is very interesting. Now let's get back to this thing right here, because we're talking about a 10% increase year over year. What was the prediction for this year? 9.3 to 9.4, right? Million people. That was my prediction. So last year they had 8.8, 8.9, 800 more thousand. If this continues this trend, which I don't know if it will, but if it does, then they would get to 9.7. But unfortunately, we're in 10.5 to 11 million mode, and we're still not going to have enough. That means the occupancy rates are not going to be high. And as more of these properties are delivered, there's going to be a problem. Yesterday's price is not today's price, and the cost of living rises. So therefore, people are going to have to start charging more for their units, but unfortunately, there's too many units on the market. So they don't get premium pricing. That's all I can say about this right now. So let me know what you guys think about this real estate game. Regardless of where you're at, the real estate game is going to be very, very interesting. That's all I can tell you. It's going to be very interesting. Let me see what else is happening on this little list right here, because I don't see anything. Let's go. No, oh, what's this here? Stopovers by airport. Oh, they didn't put it. Normally they put it in whoever's the top, whichever is the top number. It's 2 million, 11% ahead of last year, which is awesome. So, again, let's break down some numbers for you just so you guys understand. This is what I look at. If you're investing, you have to look at real numbers that make sense. 2 million people. And if you go January, February, March, April, that's 16 months, right? 16 weeks. So I'll go reverse engineer this. So I got I'll just go 2.2 million. It doesn't really matter the number. It does, but we'll go 2.2 million, okay? And divide that by 16. So that's every week. See, that's 137,500. All right? Now, here's where the problem comes in. That's if there was only one person in everybody's party, which that's not a realistic thing. So what I've been doing is, because I don't know the number to this day, 2 people. So that means I have to divide it by 2, right? That it's got to be at least 2 people on average, right? Because some people come with 3, 4, 5. Some people come with 1 or 2. So it probably averages more than 2, but I'll use 2. So that's 68,000. That's where the problem comes in. There's 68,000 people that potentially could be looking for a place. And where are they going to go? Well, this is very simple mathematically. So if we have 68,000, then all we have to do is figure out what the percentage is for the hotels. And the percentage for the hotels is 86%. So if out of I lost the number. It was around 138,000. Divided by 2. So what? That's 69,000. It doesn't matter. Let's say it's 69,000. So we'll go 69,000, because that's a couple of 2 people. So that's 138, 69, I believe. Yeah, 70, 71. Yeah. So 69,000, and you times that by 86.5%. So that equals 59,000 of the 69,000 stayed in hotels. That means 10,000 stayed per week stayed in Airbnbs potentially. You still have about 50 some odd thousand, approaching 60,000 Airbnbs on the island right now. That is not a very good number, ladies and gentlemen. The hotels, they're eating fine. They're eating very, very well. They have damn near 90% of the people staying at their locations. They're eating very nicely. The people that own these properties outside of the awesome location of Los Corrales, El Cordacito, or some beach area down by Santo Domingo, then we got issues. All right? So you can easily see why people would start saying, hey, I need to get rid of my property. Right? It's pretty simple. Now, this is very interesting that they started doing this right here. They've always done it, but they changed the way they look at it. So once again, it looks like the United States and Canada are leading, and they're up this year. Canada's 12.9, America's 6%. So it's still an increase, but unfortunately, it has to almost double the numbers. They have to be at 10.5. Next year, they got to be at 11, which is not going to happen. 11.5 to 12 mil. They're only going to be at 9.7 best case scenario right now. So they will not be anywhere near 11.5 to 12 mil. And that means there's going to be some fallout. And congratulations if you want to wait for the fallout. I'm not going to be mad at you, but that's what we're going to have to do, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's see. We got some promotion guys in the house. They're trying to always get me. Trying to get me to do some illegal activities. Trying to get me banned. I'm already banned. All right. Let's go. Here we go. The wealth builders. Let me go check something today because you're going to have Luis Felipe. I see you. Thank you so much for being in the house on another platform. Much appreciated. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to go over that because I'm going to make a video about it. And I'll probably talk about what can you do. If you're going to buy in any location, you should probably, the no credit check, no qualifying and all that's fine. But at this point, you might as well find out if there's going to be any fallout, which I think there will be. Again, we have what is this? This is May. Oh, it's almost June. Oh my. We have June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months until it's another year. And you have 7 months to get your stuff in order. That 775 credit score is serious. You need it. You need 0% interest for 20 months, 24 months. You want the one that's going to come out later this year that's going to be like 36 months. They're going to want to keep the best people that pay on time. So that's why the higher score is going to matter. Right now, it doesn't matter. They're giving credit to everybody because that's just how they keep their businesses and the financial system afloat. But here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Sooner or later, inflation is going to be well more than 13%. All of a sudden, it's going to be 2025. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Eric, it's not 13%. I got it. It's because you believe the government when they say it's only 3.4% while you're going out here buying stuff. And you know good and well, it does not cost 3.5, 3.9% more than last year. You know that's a lie just by going to the store, putting gas in your car, doing whatever. So if you want to believe it, that's fine. You want to live in fairy tale land, that's fine. But if you live in fairy tale land, all that means is you don't realize the cost that you're really paying, and you're being not productive. You're not actually being proactive to make sure that you're somehow gaining additional streams of revenue or additional ways to make money. And so that's what I want to talk about a little bit tonight, as I'm talking about it right now, because the wealth building cannot stop. Your asset chase has to keep going, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be on here too long because, quite frankly, I've been doing stuff all day. I'm so anxious that I wish I could show you something that we have going on. And by the way, we have, again, I have to give accolades to the SSN Nation member that's helping me put this together. That's right. Can you believe 2 people are about to do this? I'm using free AI by support to do this. I'm not even paying $20, $25. I'm not paying nothing. And it's working because I have an excellent person helping me, and he knows his stuff, and he's able, even if there's something that's messed up, he knows what's going on. He can figure it out, apparently. So we don't even need any employees right now. It's incredible. And from what I can tell, the way this is being set up, this is going to be an experiment, which is not an experiment because this is how I've always done things, where it's pretty much automated. And it's like who's running the asylum, but everything's automated. So we're getting everything automated, even payouts, because we live in an age where you can do stuff before it leaves the API. You can already have stuff going on. You can encode it in your software when you build your own software. I wish I could show you the command center because it's lit. It's lit. I'm blown away. I am really blown away. It's insane. So anyhow, I got to give you guys story night, right? Because if you're not investing in the stock market, I don't know what you're doing. If you don't have disposable income, don't worry. I'm not trying to chastise you because I realize the numbers. 8 out of 10 people are out here watching this living paycheck to paycheck. And they have no real skill sets. That's the worst part. If you work for somebody, that means you were never an entrepreneur. So therefore, that's not on your table. So now you're looking for a job, but now they're like, well, I don't really need you. There's lots of people who's going to work for $20 an hour. Lots of people who's going to work for $25 an hour. Even though that's not a livable wage, that's still paying more than 90% of other businesses. Because mom and pop businesses, they can't afford to pay somebody $45, $50 an hour. At least not several people. That sucks up their profits. So generally, if you want another job, you're now facing the reality of AI is replacing you. Because just what I'm seeing, like I said before, I don't need to ask anybody anything. I just need to know how to implement it. Like right now is the perfect example. I didn't know, I mean, I could implement the code, yes. I could even read it a little, yes. But the speed matters. It would take me 9 months. I would estimate. Because I'm going to be 3 months learning stuff. So then when I can see code, I can get it faster, but it would have taken me 3 months. At least. Maybe 4. And then I would have been off to the races. But now that we don't have to worry about that timeline, that just means our production is going to happen before our scheduled timeline, according to what I'm thinking. And it's going to be oh heavenly. In fact, I'm just going to say it right now. I thought it would take 5, 6 months. But with this synergy that we have going on, I don't see how if it takes that long, the only thing that happens is that means we came up with some monster stuff extra, which is going to happen because you know what happens. Idle hands, idle mind comes up with ingenious ideas. Because we have a 7 month, it's 7 months, right? No, 7 months is pretty much the deadline when we want to do it. I have a feeling it's going to take like 4 months, 3 months. That's it. And then all we're going to be doing is doing fine tuning, fine printing, making sure we got our lawyers looking into certain things, making sure everything's all up to par. And then the only thing after that, I better have one of the finest accountants in the business. Because we got a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, for every hater that's going to be out there, we got our stuff tight. And everything's going to be going according to whatever the accountant says. And he's got to make it legal. He's signing off on this. So once we get it all straight, we got to have people look at it from, and I'll just tell you, entertainment to accountants to people that does this and make sure everything's above board. So then that's the only thing that can ruin a company. You have your foundation messed up. Therefore, everything can crumble. So therefore, you got to make sure legally, because that's your only breaking point. Once you start and you're killing people, and I don't mean killing them by death, I mean kicking their ass. Then all of a sudden, they're looking for these little ins where they can say, oh, go check this out. Go check that out. It looks like money laundering to me. It looks like commingling funds to me. It looks like this. It looks like that. They can't do that. So we're going to be, before we actually implement, it's going to have a finished product. Then we're going to take a month or less to actually, well, I'm already sending it to guys that review it, but I'm actually going to get some more guys to review it. And so the review is one thing, because, that's free stuff. That's no big deal. Have to go send it to other guys too that do this every day. And then they can say, hey, you might want to take this line out or change that. You got to be on point. But in the meantime, you guys are going to be able to join the party. So let's get back to the wealth building, because we're still talking about you have to make more money. How are you going to do that? You're going to do social media, which is a crowded field. You're going to do, what are you going to do? I want to hear from you guys. What are you going to do out here? If you lost your job today, what are you going to do? Louis, Philippe, what are you going to do? T, what are you guys going to do? Let me know. EV Place, if you lost your job and you had no other assets that you can actually generate money from, what are you going to do? It's going to be one cold day, one hot day. Because if we have the amount of people living paycheck to paycheck is 80%, and all it takes is basically no paycheck coming in, and you have bills to pay, and it starts shutting down. Electricity, water, sewer, garbage, they'll still come. They'll put a lien on your house, but they'll still come. But, you know, all of a sudden you can't pay mortgage or rent. You can't go to the grocery store. All of a sudden things start compounding, and there's no way out if you have no real skill. So right now, I suggest if you don't have another skill set to generate money, then you either A, make passive investment with whatever disposable income you have, or you have to figure out another skill set. And lucky for you, AI is here. So it can help you do your passion. Write, I can't even believe it. Write a book even makes you possibly be able to sell a book that AI can write for you. Just put in your story and it'll create a nice cinematic story for you. You can do a lot of things that you would not have been able to do before. So don't sit idly by, because you could be next on the chopping block of one of these 40,000 people that Google has to let go worldwide. Another 20,000 people that Amazon has to let go because they have robots, and they're bringing on the robots in their warehouses, so clearly they don't need you. They pay livable wage, that's fine, but that's going to come to an end. You probably have 2 years max. Otherwise, they're just going to have 80 to 90% of their warehouse spaces picking up stuff, delivering it, putting it in baskets are going to be automated. So them jobs that were livable wage, union type, well, some got union passed, but most they kept it away. But all of a sudden, that's gone. Wealth in the hands of the few is the thing that's happening right now underneath your feet. You might be cheering on the millionaires and billionaires out there. I wouldn't be, because that means they're sucking the wealth from the lower class. And you're paying for it. They're not. They get tax cut, tax breaks, which, by the way, we're creating something right now, and I'm a little worried. I am really worried. Because I'm not too worried because the way the structure is, but on one of the things we're doing, there's going to be money dumping in like water. And if you claim this as a person, that means that you're going to have to be paying 40 to 50%. And right now, I don't have I can't leave it in the company. So you have to take it. I mean, if you leave it, it's a holding company. So if people don't understand, a holding company, the reason why a holding company is valuable is because the sum of its parts. But the reason why it's even more valuable is because it's passive. Any of the subsidiaries that has money left over at the end of a month, which is profit, it gets shipped up to the holding company. So now, this is why corporations generally don't pay money, because they figure out every way to claim they have some sort of in-house expenses against that money. So then, therefore, it doesn't say, well, we shipped up $1 million every month to the holding company and we got $12 million in tax liabilities. They're trying to figure out how to avoid that. So they figure out some mysterious way to not have to show that any money came out, so that at the end of the year, hey, we didn't make no money. So now the holding company, they don't make money, allegedly. Now you have the company that doesn't make any money. They don't pay taxes. So then people bitch and go, oh man, they don't pay taxes. Well, that's why. All right, let's go. I'm not going to be on here much longer. It's only about 49 to 50 minutes. I got a lot of stuff to do. We're building an empire out here, ladies and gentlemen. And because it's Friday night, I guess I'm going to leave it with this because we don't have too many people on. And I'm sorry I'm late again tonight, but there's reasons. And so, you know,
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, time's up. Wealth building is mandatory. There's no way around it. Whatever skill set you don't have, congratulations. AI is here and they have free versions. By the way, let me just explain some things. Copilot, which is a Microsoft product. It's kind of weak, quite frankly. I've been checking it out. It's kind of weak. They kind of give wrong answers sometimes, but oftentimes they give great answers. But the point I'm trying to make is I was in chat mode, which still acts like AI, but it's not Copilot. It's weird. So therefore, I didn't even time out. After hours, you go in Copilot mode, you'll time out because that's on the free side. So just letting people know, you can get in. Go to Claude, which is Claude.ai. People heard about them, Anthropic or whatever. They time you out in less than an hour. Fine, but I still use it for an hour, hour and a half. Cool. Then Gemini and Google, which I still don't know because the screen says Google sometimes, don't time out. Then it says Gemini, and then it has timed out, but it's timed out way 6 hours, 5 hours. I can go all day, pretty much. 5-6 hours I could be on there. Free. And then I cross-test to see the same thing. I've been playing around for 2 months. And I put it in, and they come up with different answers slightly, but generally they're all within the same ballpark. But the fact of the matter is, that means you can generate whatever you don't know, you can know just by asking. And you can just say, I want to do this. What's the best course to do it? And it'll tell you. So keep these things in mind. And like I said, it created books for me, it created a video game for me, and it created this that we're working on now. It enhanced it because then it would prompt you to say, well, do you want us to do this? What about this loyalty rewards program? I'm like, what? Wait a minute, hold up. I wasn't thinking about that, but yes, we'll do that. So these are the type of things, if you are imaginative and you want to do something, it'll steer you at least to where you can actually do it yourself. And speaking of this, yesterday's price is not today's price, in reverse. Remember when I told you guys I was trying to build the OTT platform and I was at the NAB show and the guy said $10,000 plus, now it ends up being where they said it's only 10,000, then it ends up being $1,200 or $1,200 and $1,300 more, $1,290 more after we start talking. So I said, wait, it's not 10 like you said at the show. It's what, 9? What is it? It's 12. It's 13. I was like, okay. So now after they spring that little surprise, $13,000 to build this thing, allegedly. So when I told you guys before, if you've been tracking this, I said, hey, do these customizations. That's when they said, oh no, this is going to cost you way more. How much? Oh, you got to send us over what you want. Then we can tell you how much more. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So when somebody says that to me, I'm thinking that means you're probably not building it because you won't even give me a demo to go check out, which is another clear sign. I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? It's okay, fine. But as I told you guys before, 2 other companies, one said 5,000, one said 5,300. The one that said 5,000 said, oh no, it's not $5,000. It's going to be $5,000 total. Just give us $400 per month. I said, oh, that's a good idea. I like that. So they say, here's our demo. I go see their demo. The demo looks just like Netflix. So I said, oh my God, you know what? I like this. It's already built like that. They go, I said, hey, but I like that stuff you already have in there. They said, oh no, that's not it. I said, what do you mean that's not it? It's in your demo. They're like, no. That's just to show you what the demo is. If you want that feature, then it's going to cost you more money. You need to tell us exactly what you want so then we can charge you more money. So I did. They came back at like $12,300. I had another company, the one that does $5,300, and the guys that said $400 per month, had a payment plan. Cool. Give me the source code. Cool. I was like, this is very interesting. This seems like the winner. until they said the customization part and send us over a piece of thing. I'm like, wait a minute, are these guys really building this or not? I said, something's not adding up here. Gatekeepers, as far as I'm concerned. So I said, okay, now I can just kind of chill because they've also in the 12.3, 12.4 range, and I still haven't even gotten through all the customizations yet. So I was like, so they're going to end up charging me 30, 40 grand with no guarantees of any content or nothing. Basically, I just have a piece of hardware, and now I got to go put in the pieces to make money from it. High risk. Not high risk for them guys, high risk for me, because there's no way that I can actually get content with their garbage stuff, because the customization, they're going to charge me according to the MVP of the team, and he knows what I mean. The point is, it would probably be an extra 30, 40 grand. So this thing would have ended up being 60 grand, 70 grand, probably, if I had these guys to deal with it. So now, today, one of the guys that said 5,300, then said 12.9, hit me up like 2 or 3 days ago, like I told you guys on Wednesday. He hit me up today. And he says things like, you know what? I actually have the messages, so why not I just use it? Why not? Why don't I just use it? Okay, here we go. Okay, check this out. Check, because I already told them, as I told you guys, track this, as I told you guys before. Let me check something, because I'm showing where I'm getting booted off of Facebook. Nope. Eldom Me Blade is still in the house. Thank you so much for being here. No, I'm not off Facebook, nor am I off. This can't. It's showing, though. Something's up. What is happening? Okay, anyhow. This is the company that hit me up a few days ago and said, hey, you need some help. I'll help you out. And I was like, what do you mean by this? Because we're not doing business. He already knew I'm not doing business. So then that's what I sent him back pretty much. He says, I'm going to help you. And I said, well, you can help me with your you know, who you actually built for. I heard that you built for stuff, but this thing about you not giving up anybody's names or platforms or anything like this, it's kind of sketchy to me. So that's why I sent him back a message, because I've just been playing with him at this point, because I've had a little fun, right? So here's what happens. He sends me back because today he goes, so the concern for you is cost only, I guess. Yeah, when you tell somebody it's 5,300, then when you tell them you need customization of one thing, you all of a sudden say 12.9. Yeah, because I need other stuff done, and now I'm at 13. Now the next thing is going to cost me another, so I'll be at 20. Yeah, I think that's right. He says, no worries, Eric, no pressure, give it a try. Because I already told him, I said, man, do you see these codes? I already made a command center and back, and here's my code from 2 months ago, because this all stems from 2 months ago. So when I sent that picture to him 2 months ago, he said, oh no, AI doesn't work. And I said, really? Here's the code, here's the picture, here's what it looks like. It does work. So that's why he's talking like he is now. No worries, like that, right? So, sure, let me share with you these reference contacts. You can have a talk to them. That's what he says, because I told him the other day, hey, send me some references. I want to hear from this, because I'm just playing, because I already know he ain't going to send me nothing, right? So sure enough, after he says, sure, let me share with you these reference contacts, you can have a talk to them, guess what comes up? Nothing. No references, no websites, no OTT platforms they built. So now he says, if cost and hidden middleman fees are your main concern, let's just say that. I already told him that. There's no need to hide behind the tech debate. We don't do mom and pop basic white labels, and we aren't middlemen. We have built the whole tech of Stream It in-house. Okay, first of all, I don't really care if he's built the whole tech of Stream It, because the bottom line is, it's online. You can buy the Stream It stuff and get a license and everything for $600. So it's not even that. And actually, you can just tell AI to build you something like the Stream It platform and tell it to use whatever tools you want it to use. And then it will start building based on their platform. So this little chit chat he's doing, he thinks he's talking to somebody that doesn't know how things work. So I find it very funny. We don't do mom and pop. So here's the funny part. I said, because before, remember, he says he claimed they built 44 OTT platforms. So I said, surely you got 5 people that would you can give me references for. He still hasn't talked about any reference. If you want a custom from scratch enterprise grade platform without getting trapped in scaling fees or hitting a wall with AI, we can make that too. Well, let's just say his $13,000 proposal wasn't exactly making me happy because, like I said, I gave him one thing to do. Never mind the other 5. So he would have came back with the same everything, 5 grand every time. That's crazy. But he's calling that enterprise grade. It's coding, it's software. That's how you get to enterprise grade. As long as you have somebody that knows coding, which is AI now knows coding. And people know coding. So again, this is what I'm telling you. You're going to end up in the future with you don't have your wealth and asset class is already locked down where you're going to be able to generate money while you're sleeping or while you're broke, then you're going to have a problem. Because this is what's happening out here. People that have tools are going to charge you more than they should, and you're not going to be able to afford it. Or you're not going to care and say, yeah, I can't afford it, and since I don't know nothing, I'll just pay these guys. You're going to overpay these people, and it's for something you could have done for a few $1,000s. The wealth comes from several sources. Where do you think that happens when they do studies? Where are they done? On college campuses. Why? Students, interns, everything's for free. They're paying to go to school. They're being an intern, helping, getting a grade for helping. You and I can do the same thing. I can go down to a school and talk to the professor. I can go to my old alma mater and talk to the professor and say, hey man, why don't you make this a class? Have them build me an OTT for half of your course. He'd probably say, okay, Eric, no problem. And you have 20, 30, 40, 50 people involved. How long do you think it would take for these guys to actually make this? Matter of a week or 2? Let's get real. So if worst came to worst, that's what I was going to do because that's the skill sets you need. You need to have people that you can talk to and go see and make things happen. This guy's talking to me like I'm Joe Smo. This is not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Once you've done business your whole damn life, you understand what you can do shortcuts in. This guy's on some sort of old school, we got the product, you can't do it with nobody else, come get us. Wrong. Not going to happen. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to go to the school platform. Even though it would have been awesome to make happen, that would have been another great story to tell the grandkids, right? But right now, the story is, like I said before, SSN Nation member helps me. We make this thing pop off. Then I say my part of the story where I was doing it AI with assistance and free AI. And then he gets to tell the story how he messed with the code, triggered it, made it into this enterprise grade. That's what's going to happen. All right. So we're going to have both a book to tell. That's all I'm going to tell you guys right now. Without getting trapped. Okay. But the cost to make something like this from scratch comes around $15K to $25K, depending on the business. Yeah, my business was going to cost more. If you want us to make something from scratch, we can do it as well. I'm sitting here laughing because we have been in this for more than 15 years, he claims. And we've made custom platforms for people in the US too, but he can't give me one name. And that ends his message. So he started off saying he's going to give me these referrals because right now I just wanted to see if he's going to do it. By the way, you guys already know because I told you two months ago about the NAB show and when I was there and I put out a few videos. So that's why I'm only telling you about this part right now. I can't say anything else. So here we go. Don't use any debt for the new project, MDA0214. You know that's the motto, man. You know that's the motto. You can't do the debt thing. That's one of the things that happens with people. They borrow money. That's why we talk. You don't hear me ever say borrow money to start a business. In fact, I believe the opposite. I believe you should start a business And when you start rolling, yes, you'll accumulate some expenses. And of course, you can accumulate some expenses beforehand too. But you try to keep those at a minimum, because then when you start making money, you don't have this big old IOU like all these corporations on the stock market and all the ones that fail, like Spirit just failed, having billions of dollars in debt, apparently calling themselves the low price leader. The only reason they were the low price leaders is because they had loans. They weren't making a profit. So they go out of business. They need to restructure their loans. People say, oh no, we're not helping you. You owe like 8, 9, $10 billion. We're not coming to your rescue because we're holding the bag as it is. Maybe somebody will come and buy up your airlines and some of your assets so we can get paid back. But I'm surprised nobody stepped in, but I know why nobody stepped in. $60 or the jet fuel cost 25, 30% more. That's a problem. That's where their profits are. Now that this pricing for jet fuel is off the charts, they can't do anything. So that's where the problem comes in. But he's right. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream, ladies and gentlemen. MDA in the house and other investors here. Stock market, real estate. He's doing the damn thing as well. And this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be versatile. You're going to have to be lean and mean. And unfortunately, this is what I was telling my daughters and people for years. I said, you cannot sit and work for somebody else unless you work for a state government. That's pretty big. That could get you there because you have a pension. You're going to have a retirement fund that hopefully will be there because they are underfunded right now. So who knows how that's going to work out, but at least you're going to get paid nicely right now. So you better invest your money. Everybody else who's not in that and works for mom and pop businesses, good luck. Because the nails are getting hit on the coffin as we go. Because it's not sustainable. You cannot pay people $50 an hour, $45 an hour, your whole room of employees in a mom and pop business. Cannot happen. If that does happen, and I'm not saying it's not 100% doesn't happen. I'm just saying your liabilities are so high every month. You can't have like, oh, there's a downturn for 5 months and still pay these people. You have to then go, oh, the downturn means we make less revenue, so I'm sorry, we have to lay you off. That's how that works, because they don't have this big thing that they have an asset class where they can go somewhere and go, hey man, we made $2.5 million in revenue. It's a restaurant. Do you think you're going to give me, I need $300,000. Sure, you might get it. But the fact of the matter is, from that point on, because you have that debt, now you have to service that debt and try to stay above board with the business. That's where the problem comes in. And this is why, just like MDA 0214 says, this is why I always try to do a business at near zero. By the way, just so you guys know, the business, I had an actual, if I would have made this just a simple platform, the fees would have only been $120 per month. That's it. That's it. And these guys were going to try to charge me a monthly fee to be doing this, and I could not believe it. Maintenance. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And some other fees. I was like, where's all these fees coming from? I thought I owned this stuff. What are you talking about right now? Apparently not the business. But now, because I found out what they're charging other people, and obviously I can Google as well. Now I was like, oh, I can undercut these guys by more than half. So now, best in class, best in the business, the elite. Let's go. I see Tamara Larry in the house, so I can't let this slide. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night live stream. And she brings her simple tagline. Hello all. I hope you've been doing well. You and your family's been doing well. Tell the boys I said what's up. Tell the boys come along for the ride. We're about to do some damage out here. Big time damage. It's going to be on an epic scale. I'm just talking a lot of mess right now because it's going to be on an epic scale. Because when the programmer, when the lead tech engineer says, hey, check out my MVP engine. And then today, he said something that's substantially crazy. The value. He says, you know what? Because we added this particular module over here, this module right here is $200 to $350,000, I believe, is what the number came back from his MVP engine. And I know he's right, because what this does is something that is epic. And I don't even think they all do it, but I know we're doing it. And it's epic. And the accountants, their days could be numbered. But we're going to still need them. But the point is, according to the evaluations, if these numbers from the MVP engine is correct, and since I trust geeks, people that can program, people that know that stuff, I trust them. Do you guys understand, if you have something worth $500,000 in production, in software, in hardware? Let me give you guys an idea. We went down to the NAB show. At the NAB show, National Association of Broadcasters, this is how this all popped off. All because I went there. I'm watching virtual shows. So when you're watching news on TV and all this stuff, they have virtual studios. It's just a green screen in the back. It's rendering so fast now because of AI and everything else that you can't tell. But some of the stuff is there, some of the stuff is not there. It's all fake. Not all, but 90%. It could all be fake. Because in what's the name of it? One company actually had just a green screen back there, but on the TV, it looks like they're sitting in the freaking living room. And then another screen, it was like they're sitting at the beach. Only green screened and in real time rendering with the cameras. I asked them, how much does their software cost? They said the gatekeeper number. He said $75,000 to $85,000. The only people that's going to be spending that on some hardware would be the actual production companies or broadcast companies or people that's in that type of business making that type of revenue. So now when somebody says you have $200,000 to $350,000 worth of equipment that we just created, that is worth listening to. What's the value, those, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I want to know tomorrow, Larry. Tell the youngsters the big dog is back. He's coming out of retirement. Thanks to the help of an SSN Nation member, by the way, which is even more important to me than anything, because now it's in the familiar. So here we go. So if you're talking about 350, we're up to 500. Remember, I tell you guys, actually, I think let's say we go on the high end. It's illegal. Okay, did I lose? Check, my check. Okay, so if it's 350, 450, so I'll round up because I think the numbers, if you already are in $500,000 and you do a multiple in tech, in fact, I don't know what the multiple in tech really is. It used to be 10. All right, just so you guys understand what this is going to actually turn out to be. Actually, it's going to be turning out more than that because there's a whole nother layer that's going to add on that changes the whole calculations. What is the tech industry multiple for business evaluation? You can Google, ladies and gentlemen. It used to be like 10x. It could be more the way the stock market works because they're way overvaluated. Let's see what the actual number really is. Yeah, it's talking 15. It's saying 15.2 is one, but they got different things for SaaS. Okay. So they're saying 3.5 to 7x trailing 12 months. Come on. Who's evaluated 3.5 to 7? Are there any other? Come on. Let's go test that, shall we? Okay, here we go. The real number, it says the top tier performers with over 20% annual growth and strong margins, they get 8x to 12x. Now, what do you do when you're a startup, though? Because, see, they're going by evaluation if you're already rolling, right? I'm putting in a startup just so everybody, I should just show you on the screen, but it's okay. My keyboard's sticky. It's sticking, my keys. I got to get a new keypad on this thing. Okay, for startups, Oh, it doesn't come up too easy for startups. That's weird. I put in the tech. Did I put tech industry? Yeah, I did put a tech industry. I go to AI now. Let's see what they say. Let's see what they say. Oh, yeah. Here we go. It's saying 10x to 25x depending on size of software type. And it says 3x to 20x. Wow. So we already at my 10x because, like I said, I use 10 for a low scale where I say that's where my ballpark is. So we would already be at 5 mil. If you start doing 20, that's 10 mil with what we have right now. We're not done. We're not done. We got some other stuff that's coming down the line. That's just on this. We don't even have to talk about patent pending stuff. We got patent pending stuff coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get patented. That's how sick this is. All right? That value, I don't even know what that's going to be because that's going to be blocked and some people are going to use it. So that means that's ongoing licensing, getting paid for the rest of our lives. So anyhow, this is what we're building out here. And I'm not going to go any further. All right, let's go. Let me know what's up. Brian P. is in the house. Mr. Dividend is here. He's probably raising the roof, doing the salsa dance, going, he loves the stock market, along with DIM Pals. I know he's checking it out too. Microphone, why does this keep happening? I'm having a mic check problems. It looks like it's happening. I don't know what else is going down. Brian P., Mr. Dividends here. It's another stock market investor, another person that keeps a watch for us because he sends me the stuff. But unfortunately, I just want to let everybody know right now, I have not been checking my emails. I have not been doing anything. I've been on the paper chase. This is something that has me so excited because this is, again, you guys do not understand. Can you imagine a person that's in their 20s and you're kicking ass, taking names, and they use their money to change laws? They then use their money to make government agencies go after you. And it being in your 20s, and then you realize, oh, I thought we lived in a capitalist society. Oh, I thought everything was kind of even, kind of like, I figured you had a little people that got an edge here and there. I didn't realize that it was a whole built-in systemic thing at the time until it happened. I didn't realize that the federal government can do whatever they want and know what they're doing is wrong and don't give a crap. I never knew. I thought we lived in a whole different country. What we're seeing right now is basically what was hidden before. It's always been there. But what you're seeing now, weaponizing government agencies against citizens and killing citizens, was always a thing. But the point is, this is exactly what happens. When you start kicking ass for the guys that are up there and they can bribe their way into getting things done, they use that against you because you're the competition. So therefore, keep that in mind when you're out here taking names and kicking ass. Because Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, Happy Day, Eric. Happy day it is. Stock market all-time record highs all this week. I hope all is well with you and your family. It's going well. My aunt is off the ventilator. She's back in business and breathing without any oxygen up her nose as well afterwards to stabilize her for 24 hours. And now she's breathing on her own. All is good. We have a reprieve. God said not yet. The angel is still here. So therefore, we got to get back to Vegas. All right, let's get down to business. Happy day, SSN family. Smash that like button on the way in. And like I was saying, I have not been on any social media hardly. I haven't even been posting anything at all because the paper chase has just now begun. I haven't felt this invigorated, as you guys can tell, in a long time because I've been on the retirement mode. But now, because I finally get to kick the dudes' asses, that actually it's made me sick to watch the gatekeepers in several different platforms, just sick. And now I'm coming for them. And that is the beauty of what's happening right now. It's not just one thing. It's not just two things. It's not just three things. It's not just four things. I'm taking names and kicking ass with the help, again, of an SSN Nation member. And we're going to be rewarded for it. And I'm like very happy. I am so happy. I am so freaking happy. You guys have no idea. Because once again, I have a vendetta. Yeah, I have a vendetta. That's right. Because the government messed with me twice. States, federal governments across several states. Yeah. Can you imagine? Government gets paid, bribed to mess with people's businesses? That's right. So this time, they're still going to come. Don't worry. But in the meantime, while we're kicking ass, we're going to be taking lots of money. And so whatever happens at that point, I really don't care, because this time I'll have unlimited funds to keep fighting them in court. That's what's going to happen. So it won't matter. I'll just be like, okay, fine. Let's do it. And oh, by the way, let's really do it. Because I have some other little tricks up my sleeve that is going to put them at the, oh, hold on, stop. Is he really going to pull that trigger? And not a weapon, ladies and gentlemen. Legal weapons. So I'm talking smack right now because I know what's coming. All right, let's go. Brian P. and your family, for your aunt. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Exactly. And oh, by the way, I got to give a shout out. I'm not going to say where she is, but I got to give a shout out to one of the few facilities, hospitals, that actually said you can bring in your own food. Kate Farms has the most awesome food for somebody that's bedridden in the hospital. Instead of that hospital garbage. You would think at a hospital they would feed you like 100% nutrients, almost, if they could. But I don't even know if they really check. I know they check people, obviously, because Tamara is here. I know they do check. But, I'm like, that's not everybody. Everybody that don't check, some people have restrictive diets, so they know that, so they do that. But all I'm saying is the quality of the food leaves much to be desired, in my opinion. So when you give somebody some stuff that's good for you 24/7, and they said, okay, that is the first place that ever said that. Ever. I was like, oh my God, let me get this right now. You got an order for me right now? You put it in the system? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, this is awesome. God's watching out for somebody. And he's watching out for the angel, because she is one awesome person. And I've been fortunate enough to have her as my aunt for all these years. She's so awesome. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap this up. It's 1 hour and 23 minutes that we're in. But I just want to let you guys know, you got to get your assets. You got to get them in order. Assets pay you. I'm going to keep saying this. Watch for the newest Stop Struggling Now and SSN Lifestyle branded stuff coming out in the next, well, at this point, 2 weeks. And you guys are going to be the first ones to know about exactly what the project is that we're involved with, because actually 2 weeks, it might almost be over, but the shouting, there ain't no way you can stop us. Right now, you still can't stop us. But I'm just saying, I can't give out any info because I haven't talked with the partner. I'm calling the person I'm working with a partner because he is truly a partner. All right, we're both working hard at this. Okay? He's got some great ideas too. I have some ideas. He has some ideas. It's going synergy like it's supposed to. That's how you work together, ladies and gentlemen. You don't sit there and go, oh, this person's, doing too much more than I am, or this person's going to get paid more than I am, and all this stuff. No. When you have a meeting of the minds, and now you have a common goal, and now both sides is intertwining where, hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's go. That's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it. Let's change it. Let's do it. That is what you want. You can't get any better work environment than that. This is what I used to tell everybody. This is the environment you want. You want help. You get help. You don't want somebody to go, oh, you can't do that. No, that'll never work. No, you want somebody that says, hold on. I'll make it work. Here's how it works. It works. Because I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I know a lot of stuff. I can't see 30, 40, 50, 60 streams of revenue. Let's just get real. None of us can. So when you have another person that comes in and says, hey, man, We can do this, this, and this. We own the IP. We do this, that, and that. I was like, hold on, I haven't checked that stream yet. But see, he's a smart person. I believe him. I'm going to check the flow, but I'm pretty sure he knows the assignments. And I'm like, either way, we can do it. So once I read it, I was like, okay, it can be done. I just got to make sure it can be done legally. And I think it can be. And he's right. And that creates an IP for free. Intellectual property in GitHub for free. Which now means you can get paid. Down the line, now, license it now. Which that's what it's going to mean. We can license it now if you're going to use that module. Now we can say, pay us for this module, pay us for the maintenance or whatever, and pay us for the licensing of a certain percentage off of your money that you make. As long as you're with us, who else are you going to go to? Our stuff is flawless. Pretty much. I'm not going to say flawless because no programming is. There's always bugs because you have to understand in computers something, another portion of your infrastructure updates. Just like I'll put it right now, when they say you got to go to Windows 11. If they wake up and say we got to go to Windows 12, that means somebody's stuff can't update because they don't have the proper software that can update. So now you have to do something. And that's where the biggest thing is against the computer guys that I hate, because originally they gave you the software, they would give you the update, but now they're using you as a money bag. They're saying, here, we're going to charge you monthly, and then while we charge you monthly, we're going to do updates. And if you can't meet the update, that means you have to buy our new product that costs 2 or 3 times what the product was that you bought like 5 years ago. That's what they're doing. That's their plan. It's working fine because nobody wants to be in Windows 9 or 10 if they're in 11 or 12 or 17, right? That means the new software is not going to work on your system eventually. So now what? That's how they're doing you, right? And that's not what computers were supposed to be in the first place. Which, by the way, that's why what we're going to do is, if you want to come join our party, it ain't going to cost that much. And we all going to be winning. That's all I can tell you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up tonight. It's an hour and 27 minutes. I got to post this up on the podcast. So everybody on the podcast, make sure you hit the star, the like, and make sure you keep listening on the podcast as well. The iHeartRadios, the iTunes. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys very much, and I appreciate your support. If you have anything else you want to make comments on, do so now. Because I'm still going to be here for another few minutes. And please, like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's only going to get harder. Just like I've been telling you over these years. You guys probably thought 3 years ago I was saying, he's like, what's he smoking? Here we are now. It's double or triple what you were paying from just 3 years ago. So if you want to act foolish and say, no, it's not, well, okay, fine. I just hope you make more money, because you're going to have to make about 20 to 30% more money between now and the end of next year. So you better get your ducks in a row. Down below in the description box, also ducks in a row, you guys are going to need this Bankus card. Just saying. Get this Bankus. Did I put this in the chat room already or not? Oh, I did. Get your Bankus, because the Bankus card is a debit card. It's crypto debit card. It's outside the United States. Make sure, the new link is not ready yet. I got the Candlestick Trading Bible. Again, a lot of people don't think you should learn, but if you've seen what's happening with the stock market lately, I have not been on the stock market because I'm on the paper chase. We have to build this thing fast. In fact, if we build this faster than expected, that means we can do testing and more testing, which means down the line, we'll already be in business before the designated time, because we can start selling our base modules. So that's going to be interesting. And also, that also means that we can add on some other tech to what we're doing. Because I have a playbook, and the playbook isn't even over. There's other stuff. It's just that I didn't think I was going to have the time to implement it, but now I do. And we're going to be able to test it months before we're supposed to do the patent pending event. So once we get that done, we're going to be free to do all kind of mayhem. And we can actually start making money too, several ways. And by the way, you guys can join in. But again, this ain't going to be cheap. I'm just saying our two top tier platforms are not going to be cheap. I'm just going to call it what it is. All right? I told you guys a little bit about it before, but I'm not going to tell you right now. But all I'm going to tell you is if you want to play, this is not a moneymaker thing for you. This is a entertainment thing. That's what this is. This isn't something you're going to invest in or do anything like that. Nope, sorry. This is you're going to be putting money into a rewards program where you're going to get something, but it's going to be entertainment related. Just so you guys understand. So, just so you know, there's only going to be 100 spots total, but there's a top 15, and the top 15 are the top dogs. All right? Just put it that way. Everybody needs in their loyalty tier top dogs. Well, there's only going to be 15 of them, so if you want to be part of that, fine. If you don't, fine. But I'm going to let you guys know. And the new website that's coming out where I'm going to have a mentorship program and all this stuff, hell, I might not even be on YouTube. Because now it's going to be a paywall. And then now I can really get into some stuff. Not that I have not gotten into some stuff, but then I'll probably be a little bit more meticulous, right? Even though you guys still get the thing. We talked about holding companies on Monday, talked about trademarks on Tuesday. We're talking about getting wealth again on Friday. What more do you guys need? Because you need to be on what they called paper chase back in the day. That's what you should be on. And you should also be trying to figure out how to collect intellectual properties. That is my number one thing that I'm going to tell you guys over the next 2 years. Remember 3 years ago what I was saying. Now 2 years I'm saying this year and next year you need to figure out if you can get intellectual properties. Whatever you're doing, put it in AI and ask, is this an intellectual property that I can do something with? You should. If it's trademarks, if it's copyrights, if it's anything, if it's video, and you feel that it's valued at anything, you better figure out if it's valued at something. All right? Because a lot of stuff you can use that you could actually hold where if somebody starts doing it or using it or whatever, you can license it to them, you can sell it to them, you can give them the sub-licensing to it. You can do all kind of things once you own an IP. Just like a record label owning a master's. The reason they don't want the artist to have it is so they can keep all the money. Somebody wants to put a song in a movie and the movie says, we'll give you $200,000 for it, the label keeps it. Somebody says, hey, we want a TV show and we want to use it as a theme song, we'll give you like $50,000 every episode that we're on TV. All this stuff comes back, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why you want to, if you're going to be on this life right now, where you have to work hard, you're going to need IPs. You're going to need something. Write a book, like I said. You need copyrights. You're going to need something where you can actually say, wake up and somebody contacts you at the door, and you got to own them. You have to own them. You can't go through somebody else. Just remember this. All right? You have to own it. Then you can make deals and get compensated a certain way. But you need to be part of the ownership group in the first place. Then you can say, yeah, I'll let you have this as long as you give me 6% of your revenue for the month, or 8 or 10 or whatever you want to do. It's up to you. You're the one that gets to make the rules. You're the one that gets to say, okay, I agree with this. I'll let you use my IP. And then I'll give you unlimited or unlimited rights to use it to actually sell and do something, as long as you give me X. That's how you do it. You got it. It's different ways you can do it. And so with all that said, that's why it's always a good thing that you got to start thinking a different way at this point, because that's what the wealthy people are doing. They're getting everything that they can get. Just like right now I'm doing this video, and whatever they make, I get either 60 or I think it's 60%, 60 or 70% is left for me. But if I was doing this on a different platform where there's ads that come to me, then I would be making more money. But I'm not. I'm using their platform. Now, if I use another platform and then I say, hey, there's ads, then I keep the money. An advertiser comes to see me, I keep the money. 100%. I don't have to share. There's no 30 or 40% take. You see, you want to be the 30 or 40% take for free uploads and free videos that's being done. Free live streams, right? I'm doing this for free. They get percentage of the ads that come out. And since we're in the business field, it's probably it's 15 to 25 CPM, right? So just start thinking about every 30 seconds or the 1 minute or even more. Just think about that. If people watch the past 15 or 20 seconds and all of a sudden that triggers $15 to $25 per. And so now when you see, okay, 3,000, 1,000, whatever, people watch it, all of a sudden you start realizing that these guys are getting paid per million, per 1,000, and they got 10,000 views. You go, okay, they're getting paid $25 times 10, $250 for that video so far. More than likely, right? And then all of a sudden you start realizing, well, wait a minute, he's got, how many? He's got 150 videos, and all of them pretty much have 10 to 20,000 views. That means he's been making, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, I see what's happening. That's how much money these Googles and Yahoos and all these guys are making. Facebooks and Metas, and which is Instagram. That's why they're out here being the Magnificent Seven. Do you want some of that? That would be great, wouldn't it? But let's go. It's 1 hour, 36 minutes. I got to get something to eat. I'm sure, the wife is probably hungry. I've been letting her starve to death. I got to make sure, that she's not going to be starving tonight. So let me go get something, ladies and gentlemen. I'm starving myself, so we got to run. Hopefully, we'll be talking on Monday. And actually, on Monday, we'll have new StopStrugglingNow.com. Beautiful website that AI built called Arrow. Didn't even know I had it for free in the back office. So it's a massive upgrade. And it's going to be very interesting how I implement this, quite frankly. I'm excited. So I love you guys very much. Make sure you stay safe over this weekend, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what somebody's going through. So with all that said, no matter what you do, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.